This Hangout on Air is live. Woo!
Woohoo!
All right. So, for people who have not attended one of my live hangouts before, my name is Paul Roth. I am from the PaulTalks channel, youtube.com/Paul Roth, PaulRoth. I got that URL as soon as it was available to me. And all I do is I will occasionally find some of my friends on YouTube and invite them to hang out with me in front of all of you lovely people for a couple of hours, talking about whatever you want us to talk about. And today, I am joined by my dear friend, Emily Grace. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Emily Grace. I'm from the channel Onmywaytohogwarts. I do music and talk about things sometimes.
Yes. And you are co-founder of the YoungTubers panel, is that right?
That is true, and it's coming back this year, and I'm really excited because there's some great faces on it, and it should be dandy.
I am just messed up, torn up by the fact that YoungTubers this year is scheduled against the Women on YouTube panel. So I have to choose between them. I know.
Why do you do such things?
It's wrong. They shouldn't do that. So, anyway, I'm going to start off this little live stream of ours by playing my theme music. So let's just see if I can cue this up. Music. Is it working? Yeah. Haha. And that's enough of that. All right.
I think Matt is watching. Hi.
Yes,
Matt.
we already have 2 viewers in the chats, Matt Palka and Mark Hilton. Everybody Palka, everybody Hilton?
Everybody Palka. I'm so sad. Matt's going to be VidCon this year, and I'm not. It's not fair. Okay, whatever.
Oh, boo. Yeah, as Matt says in the chats right away, arg the conflicts. Yeah, I did a whole video where I was just upset like 4 or 5 times about scheduling conflicts at VidCon. Boo. And I'm still not sure. Like, I've allegedly decided which panels I'm going to be attending, but I might on the day decide, screw it, I'm going to go to YoungTubers instead or whatever.
Yeah. I just really want to see Presley. That's like all I want in life.
Me too.
I saw her. My first VidCon, she was in the education panel, and she was sitting a couple rows in front of me, and she stood up and she talked, and she made John Green cry, and then I like stumbled upon her channel later with her and her dad, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's her. She's the one that made John Green cry. And then I watched the video, and I was in the background, and I was like, oh my gosh.
That is a legendary thing at VidCon to have attended. I'm jealous that you were there. That's pretty cool.
It was pretty good panel.
And I did not know that that's something that she had done. I discovered Presley by she uploaded a video where she did an imitation of Emily Grassley from the Brains group. She like dressed up as her and stuff, and then Emily Grassley retweeted that, so I found out about it. I thought that was very cool. We are also joined in the chat by Gap Year Girl. Hello, Gap Year Girl. And my friend Bad Comedy, aka Sydney. Hi, Sydney. Oh, and Sydney immediately asks, Paul, are you going to be recording the panels you go to this year? I am taking my same little handheld camera, my tiny little camera, to all the panels, and I'm going to try to record the ones that I go to, and I'm going to try to upload them immediately that night to YouTube from the hotel. But of course, a million other people will be trying to upload stuff from the hotel, so I don't know how well that'll work. We'll see how that works.
Thank goodness for Paul Roth. We had Holly, This Is Not Holly, had some of their friends record the YoungTubers panel, but the footage never surfaced.
Oh no!
So thank goodness.
I'm glad that I did. Yeah.
Also, Gap Year Girl is telling me about GirlCon. I don't know what GirlCon is, but you should let me know. I think I saw something about it on Tumblr, but I don't know.
If you are on Twitter, I know that you can just tweet at Emily at Twirly Enough, TWIRLYENOUGH, and you can let her know all about GirlCon. I think GirlCon's probably easy to Google, though.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, twirly enough. That's like an obscure Nerd Fighter reference that no one gets.
I have watched every single Vlogbrothers video from their very beginning of Brotherhood 2.0 all the way through to now. I feel like I've heard that, but I don't know. I don't know the reference.
It's from one of their projects for awesome live streams. It was Mark Wheaton. Is that it? No, just made that up. What's their name?
Will Wheaton?
No, the one that's like friends with them and is on their like. No, he was in a movie or something. He was talking with his wife, and Hank was on with his wife, and I think Michael Aranda was there, and Hank put on his wife's skirt and was twirling around in it, and it wasn't very twirly. He goes, "Well, I'm twirly enough," and that was his lower third. And I like that, so then I took it as my Twitter name.
That is X. I should have guessed it was from a project for awesome live stream because there are so many hours of that. I definitely did not see all of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now I know. I never knew. I should have asked before, but this is a great place to reveal that. That's awesome. Mark Hilton in the chat asks, have we heard of Casey Neistat's Nestate's new app called Beam, B-E-M-E, or Beamy? I don't know anything about it.
I don't know anything about it either. I would be intrigued to learn more, but I do not know anything about it.
I'll have to look it up on Google. Matt Palka says that he is recording the ones that he goes to as well, as long as he's not volunteering during the panel. Makes sense. Makes sense. Gap Year Girl directs us to their Tumblr, girlcon.tumblr.com, where the first I in GirlCon, I guess there's only one I, where the I in GirlCon is a numeral 1. So G1RL.
I will check that out. Also, hello, probably Sarah. Are you Sarah, or only are you probably? Are you an imposter?
He is the most Sarah I know.
But is it an imposter? Probably Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. I think Sarah and I were both trying to. I think we were both like tweeting at or texting with Melly the Nerd, who is currently on a flight from Philadelphia to LAX, I do believe, on her way to VidCon. So our friend Mel is not going to be here for. Oh, but Mel sent me a question via text to ask during this live stream.
I think I met Mel last year at last VidCon. I think we have a selfie together somewhere because Mel auditioned for YoungTubers, and I remembered her face and what she said. I remembered everyone's name that I saw audition for YoungTubers, and I was like really proud of myself.
That's very cool. Because I mean, there were a lot of auditioners, weren't there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was like no one. I thought, in all honesty, no one's auditioned. There were some that were just like, I just want to do it for the fame. Sabrina and I were like, let's kind of reevaluate that. But most of the people were like very genuine. It was super tough. We actually ended up having to send like a list of our favorites to VidCon, and VidCon picked the panelists. But otherwise, everyone, which is kind of like a weight off our shoulders, which is like if anyone was mad, we could just blame VidCon.
That's cool. Yeah. That's good. Yes, and I think I saw that selfie that the two of you and Mel took together. I think I saw it recently somewhere, possibly on a collage that Mel put up of her VidCon memories, I think. But her question was a question for Emily. Ask them if they see their channel going in a specific direction in the future. I've been wondering what kind of content they're planning on working on. Emily?
I don't know. I really want to do more like informative vlogs. Like I really want to talk about gender a lot more because that's like something super important to me and something I love talking about. And I always want to continue with music because like music is me and I am the music. That makes sense. And I also, weirdly enough, I've been like scripting some vlogs that have to do with politics because I feel like my generation is going to be the next generation to vote. And a lot of people just aren't informed and don't know. They're like, whatever, I'll just go vote. And I'm like, but you don't even know what you're voting for. So I was scripting some vlogs about like people who were running for presidents, like Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders.
And Scott Walker, excuse me. Scott Walker's gross. I'm sorry. Okay.
You are not wrong.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, gosh, it sounds like it sounds like you're not really focusing on one thing necessarily, but you've got a couple of new things coming up on your channel, which is nice.
And now that I've said the politics thing, now that I put it into the world, I have to do it, which is good because
exactly. If you say that you're going to do something on the internet, you have to do it. It's a rule.
Except I said I was going to do a collab about gender and sexuality, and a bunch of people sent me clips. I just was like, nah, I didn't even get around to doing it. I feel so bad because like lovely people like Katie from that Katie Project sent me a clip, and I was just like, I'm so sorry that I wasted your time.
I mean, is it a thing that has to happen at a particular time? Could you still do it in the future?
Probably. Probably could.
I mean, we're not like companies here. We can do things whenever the hell we want.
It's true, and the internet will always be there. I hope.
Yes, I hope so too. Let's see here. Looking back to the chats. Oh, we got a couple people coming into the chat. This is so exciting. Matt Palka says that he remembers that P for A with the twirly enough reference. Scozio, one of my viewers, joins us. Hi, Scozio, frequent chat participant. Oh, Adrian. Somebody named Adrian has joined in. I'm sorry, Adrian. I think Emily is not going to make it to VidCon, but she will still undoubtedly document some corgi sightings.
Oh, Adrian, I think I know Adrian. Hi! What year was that P for A? I think it was 2 years ago, because I know it wasn't this last one. I've had that username for a while. And then my friend Jen McNeil from college says she misses me. I miss you too, Jen.
Aww, that's so cool that she tuned in. Hi, Jen.
Jen is lovely. Jen and I are on the improv team together at my school.
That's so cool. Have you recorded and uploaded any improv stuff that you've done?
I haven't, but I should. It would be cool.
It would be cool. I would definitely watch that. It's always neat watching YouTubers do improv, like with non-YouTubers. It's like I don't know anybody on here except for that one person. This is cool. Let's see here. Nerdy May, my friend Tyler, is here in the chat. Apparently, you also know Tyler.
Oh, Tyler also auditioned for YouTubers. He's so cool. Tyler's so cool. I met him last VidCon too. He's so nice and so cool. And yes, A+ human being. 2 thumbs up.
He's definitely an A+ human being. He is a human being who will do damn near anything for a pun. So I gotta respect that. Gotta
love the puns.
And he says, I hope someone records YoungTube. Me too.
Me too.
Let's see here. Probably Sarah is not quite sure if she's Sarah. Okay, that's all right. That's nope. Well, then your username makes perfect sense. Let's see what else. Scozio asks, why is VidCon not producing official videos of the panels to be released later on? That is a darn good question. I've asked that question myself. I think it's literally just they don't want to allocate the resources to it. Like, it's hard enough to get volunteers just to help out with like everything working as it is right now, to get additional people who will do like quality video work, and you know, along with that would come probably quality sound engineering for every single panel, and they've got what, like 200 panels? It feels like a lot. That would be a big endeavor. I'm not making excuses for them, but considering that it is like just shy of being a fully commercial thing, I'm not surprised. Like San Diego Comic-Con, they can afford to actually do official videos of their panels. VidCon is just a little bit smaller than that.
I think now that VidCon's growing, I think it'd be smart for them to do it. I mean, they do like the live stream or whatever, where they have the guy and he has the hat thing and they go around. Honestly, the videos I don't think need to be super high quality. I just think if it's like you can hear it and you can see it, I think that's good enough. And I mean, they have a couple of monitors in the panels themselves that work with people on the panel and like work to control the audience and stuff. And I think like one of them could easily like hit a record button on a camera on a tripod. So.
That is true. I mean, I would like for it to happen. I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they're going to do this year and they just haven't announced it. That's a possibility. Let's see here. Matt Palka says, my collab channel got Hank Green to find the things years back. Someone made a P for A 2012 Highlights montage. Oh, okay. Sidejoy made the montage.
Okay, also Sabrina said she's here. I don't know if she's still here. It says, she says, I keep trying to comment and YouTube's denying me. Hi, Sabrina, I love you and I miss you.
Oh, hi, Sabrina, nerdy and quirky in the comments. I see your comment. It did show up. As you're probably aware, this live stream is going to lag in response to you viewers by about like a minute. So a minute after you say something, we will see it and try to respond to it, assuming that we pay attention. Let's see here. All right, I think we've caught up with the chat, which is great. Okay, hooray! What a good turnout! Wow, I honestly wasn't sure if we were going to have people being able to tune in the Saturday before VidCon because maybe everybody's like packing or freaking out like I was. Mm-hmm. Yay, Sabrina's still here. The two of you are welcome to just have a conversation with each other.
And Andrew's here.
Andrew Whipple's in the comments. Yes.
Andrew's beautiful. Sabrina. Okay, this is my official protest. Sabrina and I made a collab last year. My audio was corrupted, but hers wasn't, and I still haven't seen the footage, and next year's VidCon is already here. Sabrina, girl, what are you doing? I want that collab so much. I've asked her so many times for it. Sabrina, I love you so much. Give it to me. That is what I say.
Well, I don't know if you noticed though, but like Sabrina's a little busy. She's got a couple things going on.
Whatever.
And applause to you. Congrats to you, Sabrina, on the great work you're doing on Crash Course Kids. Am I saying that right? Crash Course Kids.
It's
so impressive.
Cool.
So cool.
And there's a little bitty Sabrina on all the episodes, and that makes me so happy.
Yes, it's great. Sabrina can't even remember where the footage is.
Okay, bye, Sabrina. We talked about egg milk and Canada, and we got into quite the discussion about milk and cows.
Wow.
That's all I remember about it.
Okay, I am fascinated. I am curious about that footage myself now.
Because something happened to my audio, because I also collaborated with Alex Reiniger, who's someone I met after YoungTubers. He came up to me, he's like, you're really cool, we should collaborate. And I was like, okay, I've never met you, let's do it. So we did the best friend tag, because we'd never met before. And my audio just didn't work. And it was super upsetting.
That is upsetting. My microphone, I have a Zoom One microphone. I just, like, the day that I was doing my first collab ever with Ahsante the Artist, who's going to be on the Less Than Famous panel.
Yeah.
The day that I did that collab, I wanted my microphone to use my good microphone because we were going to be singing together, and it died. It's just dead.
That video was so cute that you guys made. I loved it.
Thank you. It was fun.
Yeah, no. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna report what Sabrina's saying in the chat. She's saying, "I'm sorry, I love you. I guess we gotta film another one. Guess you gotta come over for Buffer Festival."
I would love to come over for Buffer Festival. Truly, I would. I just need the money. I'll just come to your house, Sabrina. It's settled. But I think what happened with my sound last year at VidCon is I borrowed me and my friend Carson of the Carson Effect were filming a collab, and we borrowed my friend Ben of Kid POV was like, hey, you can borrow my mic. And I was like, okay, thanks. And then he plugged it in, and I just don't think it worked.
Boo. Boo. Thumbs down to that. Mark Hilton says, Emily, your slam poem on objectification was brilliant. And Sarah says, yes.
Thank you. And
Scozio says, +1 to that. And I'm going to say yes and +1 to that as well. Fantastic.
That's something I wrote forever ago, and I wanted to do it for the longest time because I had the idea of doing the projections over myself. But I didn't have a projector until I went to college, and then I finally did it. And
it was a very cool effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I filmed it 25 times. And my boyfriend was in there with me because I needed someone to press play on the projector. But I would always forget. I would I would get too into it, and I would forget what I'd have to say next, and he would like recite it to me because he'd heard it so many times already. Because I had said it so many times, but I would keep forgetting. But he's like, Emily, it's this. Come on, and I was like, I'm sorry.
Good boyfriend. Tyler has to run and catch a flight. Bye, Tyler.
Bye, Tyler. Is he going to VidCon?
I hope that he's flying to VidCon. I think that he is. I have no idea. He travels a lot anyway. So if I see you at VidCon, it'll be great, Tyler.
Tyler, you're wonderful.
It's funny. Last year's VidCon, I went pretty much by myself. I mean, my friend Rebecca was there, but she was there with her newborn baby and her husband, and so they're mostly just like being a little family unit together. Mm-hmm. So I was mostly on my own, and I kept on encountering different squads, and like it's going into these different groups of people and hang out with them. Primarily, the group of people who were hanging out with Alex Turlocosaurus on YouTube, and she was friends with Tyler and Vince and Chelsea and B and I think maybe Hannah. I'm sure I'm missing people. I think those are the main people. Oh, Sabrina. Sabrina was also a part of the group. So that group of people there who were all like teens or early 20s folk were like hanging out, and I of them I was decent friends with Alex. So yay, Tyler's gonna be at VidCon. Yeah, that's right, of course, because of the open mic. I knew that. He's gonna be doing open mic on Friday at 10:55.
That's awesome! Break a leg! Oh, that's so cool. Open mic's fun. And their sets are longer this year, which I'm like, are you kidding me? I wanted to sing for longer. That was a joke. 5-minute sets, whatever.
Yeah, that's rush up, do like a song and a half, and then get out. Bah. I was told by my friend. I was told by Lauren Fairweather, who is very nice to me on the internet, that the open mic set that she is co-hosting, she'll actually do a little set of her own before the scheduled performers do take their open mic shifts, and then she'll be like talking about each person prior to them going up to the open mic in between. So she'll legitimately be hosting is what she's going to be doing. I'm looking forward to that. She is a sweetheart. It's kind of interesting how the 5 Awesome Girls, which I was not a fan of because they're a little bit before my time, but the 5 Awesome Girls YouTube channel, the girls have gone on to continue to be awesome separately.
I didn't know who they were, and then like Christina Horner would keep mentioning it, and I'm like, what? And so would Haley G. Hoover, and I was like, what is this? And I discovered it, and I was like, oh, I didn't know all these people were connected like that. Like I just didn't know that. Yeah,
me neither. I discovered it just like a year or two ago. Matt Pelka points out that Lauren gets to co-host with Mike Falzone. So that's going to be a good open mic set. That's going to be a good show.
I love Mike Falzone.
He is a pretty cool guy.
I love the content he makes. He's one of my favorite content creators, I think.
It's funny because he has like a couple of niches that he fits into. He does the talking head vlog thing like we do, which is cool. That's awesome. He's like one of us. We're like him. But then he also does like stand-up routines. He also does music, like when he does duets with Meghan Tonjes and other people.
I always forget that he does music. Like that's something I always forget.
I only like discovered it essentially during one of during Meghan Tonjes one of Meghan Tonjes' sets at last VidCon. Or was it? I think it was, because at one point she was singing by herself and then she said, "And now my buddy's going to join us."
She did that on the main stage. I think I remember that. Yeah.
I was thinking I couldn't remember if it was Megan or if it was Julian Nunes.
I love Julian Nunes. But during that Meghan Tonjes set, it like people were just cheering and I yelled "Booty Revolution," but the second I yelled "Booty Revolution," it got really quiet and she just heard that and she's like, "Yeah!" And I was like, and the next day I went up to her and I was like, "Hey, I yelled "Booty Revolution" during your set. Can I get a selfie?" She's like, "Yes." I was like, "Yes."
That is excellent. I love her music. She's just she's amazing. I love her body positivity. She is like an inspiration to a lot of young women in a lot of different ways, including my friend B, who like really loved her "Oh Father" song and like the stuff that she's going through and like trying to deal with her parental.
She's, like, super unapologetic for who she is, and I love that.
Me too.
I was also really nervous to go up to her and get a selfie, so Sabrina literally had to push me. I typically don't get nervous. I got nervous to talk to her, and I got super nervous to talk to Josh Sundquist. So nervous that I actually didn't talk to him, and I love him. I was super down. I just saw him, and he was just there, and we made eye contact, and I just kind of like waved, and he was like, he head nodded, but I was just like, no. Yeah, that's my story.
I don't think that I don't remember getting all that flustered in front of anybody except for I got a little bit flustered when I went up to talk to Lacey Green. A little bit, because she's like I'm pretty impressed by Lacey Green.
Yeah, like there aren't that many people that I act like a fan in front of. Like I met John Green and I didn't even do anything. I was just like, yo, my mom likes you. Can I get a selfie for her? Because, like, my mom, she's like, oh, are you going to meet John this year? And I was like, I don't think that's how it works, Mom. So when I met him, I was like, I have to get a selfie for my mom. Yeah.
Oh, that is too funny.
And, like, I don't know. There's, like, just people that I'm, like, afraid of looking like a fan in front of, and I just, like, don't want to be perceived as a fan.
You're afraid of looking like a fan in front of, so it's not that you actually act like a fan in front of them. You're afraid to.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like who?
What?
Like whom?
Like Meghan Tonjes again. Like my friend Aaron of Breaking GBK is kind of like chill with Mike Falzone, and like Mike Falzone like bought him drinks at VidCon and they hang out and stuff or whatever. And he was talking with Mike Falzone and Meghan Tonjes was there because they're friends, and like I sat next to him and they were like just about leaving, and I was like, oh hi, and I introduced myself, and Meghan just like gave me this big hug, and I was like, oh that's nice, but like otherwise I was just like, I love you so much, and I think you're so cool, and I just want to talk to you about life and beauty and stuff, and I just I don't know. Yeah.
That's awesome. I also got a little bit flustered when I talked to Julia Nunes, because Alex, again, like the squad of people who were there with us, Alex and a bunch of others, were really big fans of Julia Nunes. We went to the festival stage set. Yeah. I mean, she's amazing. She's fantastic. We attended her festival stage set, and then afterwards she said, "Hey, come around to the back, and I'll like sign stuff for you and say hi." So we all went in line to the back behind the festival stage and waited in line, and then I told her about how much I was a fan of hers and how much I liked her music since I discovered that, like, the big "Fill Me Up" Buttercup routine that she did with all those people in her bedroom years and years ago. And she was very nice to me about it. And then Alex was like practically in tears with happiness getting to meet Julia Nunes, and so I took photos of the two of them hugging. It was a good time.
That's awesome. So I feel like a lot of them are just like so appreciative, because I know when people come up to me and they're like, oh, I watch your videos and I like your videos, I'm just like, first of all, I don't consider my audience fans of me because I think that's just weird. But I'm just like too appreciative to even like care if they act like fangirlish or whatever. You know? I just think it's too nice of them. Because I know at my first VidCon there were people that I watched their content and I was too afraid to go up to them and say, oh hi, I like your content, because I was just not sure of what to say, and that made me a little bit flustered. So I think people who do that and like have the courage to do that, I just appreciate them.
I was astonished because right before VidCon I had last year I'd published a few videos specifically about social issues that concerned me. Like I was nervous because they hadn't published anything about a code of conduct at VidCon for like until just before it happened, and so I put up a video about how anti-harassment policies are important, and I had a couple other things in there. People like recognized me. I was not expecting anybody to know me because I had like 250, 500 subscribers before VidCon. It was weird.
I know. I had 200 subscribers for my first VidCon, and I got recognized a couple times too, and I was like, this is weird, but cool.
It is weird but cool. But I one of the people who recognized me was a guy, I think his name was Steve, and he definitely had this like fanboy celebrity culture mentality to the way he was trying to interact with me. Which again, it was weird because I didn't feel like I was a big name anyway, but just like in general, that kind of attitude, like worshiping somebody while they're right in front of you, I don't like that. I tried to tell him we're the same.
Yeah.
We're just two people on YouTube. You can cut that out. Please don't act like that around me.
Mm-hmm. I agree. No, and there were like some people that would just come up and like take selfies and then leave, and I was like, but we can hang out if okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. There were people who are, not big YouTubers, people who had a few thousand subscribers maybe, and I recognized them at VidCon, and I was wary of going up to them to talk to them because I wasn't sure what to say besides, I know who you are, and I have seen a few of your videos. Like, that was like literally the only thing I could think in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But I recognized them.
Yeah.
So for the most part, if that's all I had to say to people, I didn't. Unless I like literally bumped into them. Like at one point, I was like kind of backing up to see the festival stage better, and I bumped into somebody behind me, and I turned around, and it was Miss Fender, Elena Fender, who has she just has like a vloggy channel. She's out of Canada. She was there with Dallas, and they were just like chilling. But I recognized her, and I told her, because I literally bumped into her. I said, I know who you are. You're Elena Fender. I like your videos.
Mm-hmm.
And she gave me a little gold star sticker to put on my VidCon pass.
Oh, cute.
And then like actual bigger people, actual like large number of subscribers, YouTubers at VidCon. I ran into well, I mean, I don't tend to watch a lot of YouTubers who I would say fall into the trap of celebrity culture. I just don't watch them. I don't.
Yeah. I watch Tyler Oakley, and that's it, just because I like Tyler Oakley.
I mean, Tyler Oakley does some good stuff.
I also met him last VidCon and talked with him for a little bit because we were in the green room at the same time, and he was like really nice and really sweet and like super cool. So I was like, okay, I can, and like he didn't treat me like a fan. He like we were in the same room, so he's like, oh, we're equal. I don't know if that's why he saw us as equals or if it's like whatever, but I just like I really appreciate that, so I continue to support him. So
that is cool.
Yeah.
But I was not expecting anybody who has like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of subscribers to like be nice at all. Basically, I wasn't expecting them to be nice, especially to a stranger or rando like me. But I kept on encountering people who were really nice to me. I don't know how many subscribers she had at the time, but I ran into Ava Gordy, and she was super sweet to me. Especially when I told her how funny I thought she was. Lex Croucher, I like really admire Lex Croucher. I think she's fantastic.
I think
and I didn't figure that she had any idea who I was, but she actually was apparently like standing next to me again at the festival stage, watching whatever was happening on the stage, and she called out my name first. She saw me first. I'm like, what? How do you know who I am?
It's weird. The internet's weird, man.
It is weird. It is weird. But it's a good thing. I mean, VidCon puts us all on equal ground.
I think so, yeah.
So,
no, it was funny. Okay, the night before VidCon, my friend Jack Dodge and I have this tradition that we started that started our first VidCon, where we go to California Pizza Kitchen, and we had our like VidCon badges or whatever on us. Or no, we didn't yet. It wasn't that time. So it was the night before, so we hadn't registered yet. But I was there, and you can kind of tell we were a group of kids, and we had our cameras out and whatever. And I go to the bathroom, and there's like Alfie Days and Marcus Butler, like the British YouTubers, and they were like trying to hide from me. And I was super tempted to go up to them and go, I don't care about you. But I didn't.
It's already a good story, but that would have made it an amazing story.
They were like trying to hide from me, so like I kind of walked slowly past them and like tried to freak them out. But I was super tempted to go up to them and go, I don't care about you. Which is kind of what I did on my first VidCon when I went to the Becoming YouTube panel, and I literally stood up and asked Jack Scap, not in so many words, if they thought they were only popular because they were good looking. But Jack Scap, actually, they've changed since that year. In a year, I think Jack's Gap has become a better channel because Jack talks a lot about mental illness and addresses that, which I think is super cool when having a big audience.
I've seen those videos shared. Yeah, that's really awesome.
I think that's super cool when you have a big audience and you address things like that, because I feel like a lot of people don't do that or they gloss over it, and I think that's cool when they have such a big audience who is primarily teenage girls that probably would watch them do anything like sit and eat cereal.
The famous Charlie McDonald experiment proven true.
Which I think is, I watched like 2 seconds of that and I was like, okay. I was like, I don't believe this exists, so I had to watch it and I was like, oh, that's literally all he does. Okay.
Yeah, that's so funny. Wow, I don't have a tradition yet for VidCon because this is only my second one.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, because I was like such a loner last year, I didn't really like do much of anything that I necessarily need to repeat.
My friends Chloe, Jack, and I, we've taken a picture in the same spot the past 2 VidCons, and we were planning on like how we were gonna do it the 3rd year and stuff, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna be there. It was really sucky, but it happens. I'll be there again some year. I know I will. There's no way that last year's VidCon was my last VidCon. No way.
Is that friend of yours Chloe Rose?
Mm-hmm.
Orange Julius 3 or something like that? Green Julius 3?
Yeah, Green Julius 3. She was like my first like good friend on the internet, on YouTube. I met her, like my first YouTube friend I would consider Kirsten Hippie. I don't know if you know who Kirsten Hippie is.
I know of her, yeah.
Yeah. We met in a Facebook group when we were like freshmen in high school that was about Star Trek Life missions to people who made a Harry Potter musical. And she started doing YouTube, and I was like, hey, I could do that. And then she had a collab channel, and Chloe and I were both alternates. So like that's how we met. And then Chloe is basically responsible for everyone else I've ever met. Ever.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Because like she introduced me to Jack Dodge, and Jack Dodge introduced me to Sabrina, and like there's just these little webs from all these people. So
wow, that's really cool. Mm-hmm. I like what she's been doing lately with her series of videos to save the world on her own channel, and the stuff that she's doing with was it Life Noggin? Yeah,
Life Noggin's so cool. Oh, her and Pat are my favorites. I love them. So
that's not Pat Does It, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Pat. Okay. Cool.
Mako, yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really cool. I forget.
Is this good or bad that we were talking about VidCon memories?
Oh, I don't mind. I love talking about VidCon.
Cool.
I don't know about you.
Like, it's hard. Hank just put up a video like yesterday or the other day about how it's hard for him to think about anything else besides VidCon right now. Mm-hmm. And obviously, you know, that's one of his babies, so he's got to think about it. But just like as an attendee, I can't think of anything else right now. I am sucking at work. It's just all VidCon thoughts all the time.
Yeah, I think this week I'm really glad that my boyfriend is coming to visit this week, because that's like the perfect distraction from not being able to. I'm deleting my Twitter app. I'm deleting my Instagram. I'm not going near it for that weekend, because if I see it after the fact, I'll be like, okay, but if I see it while it's happening, I'm just going to be a mess.
I understand. That makes perfect sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
We are joined in the chat by Spoo Talks. Hi, Spoo.
Hello.
Mm-hmm. Oh, all right. So now that there's like a few viewers who've tuned in here, I want to show you the thing that I did. In your video about how you're not going to be able to go to VidCon, you said that people should go to that like scavenger hunt thing, and then find some way of bringing you into a selfie or a photo or whatever at VidCon. So I went and I made these. I made a bunch of these Emily faces. If you're listening to this on the podcast, I'm holding up a cardstock photo of Emily's face.
Wait, keep that thing. Wait, no, I want to take your picture. Go back.
Okay, here we go. So let's see here.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome.
So I got I have like 5 of these. I'm gonna cut them out, and then I got a bunch of handles to tape to the back of them. So I'm gonna take these to VidCon. If anybody who's gonna be at VidCon wants to join in on the Emily Grace scavenger hunt thing, let me know if you want one of these Emily Grace faces.
Oh my god, that makes me so happy. Thank you, Paul.
I'm specifically targeting trying to find Sabrina and taking a photo of your face next to Sabrina at VidCon 2015.
Sabrina is the love of my life. End of the story.
If I planned a little bit better, I actually would have cut that out and taped it all together, but I didn't have a chance to do that this morning. Oh well. It's happening. My preparations for VidCon right now are pretty sucky. All I've got is I've got some stuff cleaned, some clothes cleaned, and I've got a bunch of snack bars. That's about it.
When do you leave for VidCon?
I leave on Wednesday morning.
Okay, so you still have a while.
I have a little time. I am working on Monday and Tuesday, so I'll only have the evenings of those days. And
I packed midnight the day I left for VidCon. So.
I've done that same sort of thing before. Go ahead, Drew.
I do that all the time. Whenever I leave anywhere, it's always midnight the night before.
I do that. One thing that's difficult for me when I'm traveling is that or when I'm like preparing to go to a place is that I want to wear like nice clothes. I want to like look decent and stuff when I meet people.
Mm-hmm.
But my body fluctuates a lot as I exercise some seasons and I don't exercise other seasons. So like half of the clothes that I have right now, besides t-shirts, don't really fit me. After this is over, I'm gonna go shopping for some VidCon clothes.
Nice.
It's awful. I feel like I'm too consumeristic, too capitalistic, something like that.
Last year, it was so funny because I bought like a couple new things for VidCon and I brought them with me. And do you know who Brogan is?
Who what?
Brogan is?
Rogan, no.
Okay. Well, Rogan's hilarious and I love him. I met him last year. He's like, he saw me on Saturday. He's like, you have really great fashion sense. And I was like, only at VidCon. Otherwise, I'm a slob.
I mean, I'm gonna try to stay on brand, which is basically I'm in a t-shirt and that's basically it. So I'll be wearing my t-shirts and I'll be wearing a variety of glasses, and that'll be the Paul look. But I want to find some like nicer pants and shoes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I wore like the YoungTubers Day. I wore my favorite dress. And I wore my favorite funky sweater because I love thrifting for sweaters. And I wore tennis shoes. And then at the Secret Store, I wore my Glide hat that I got for free at the booth. I wear that hat all the time. Oh my goodness.
Does that Glide the video messaging service?
Mm-hmm. I actually have two friends that work for Glide now, and they get to go to conventions all over for free, which is Aaron at Breaking GBK and Juice from the Box, which are two of my other great YouTube friends. I have so many great YouTube friends, like you and all these people, and I love YouTube.
I am very fond of YouTube myself. Yeah, I would just be like I'd just be a hermit. It would just be me and my dog. I'd just be talking to my dog if it weren't for YouTube, essentially.
I hung up the picture of, the card of Drew when he caught the reindeer. It's on my wall. Oh.
I did not send that card to many people. I think you were one of the very few I've sent that card to because I figured you'd appreciate it.
I love it. I love dogs, so anything with dogs is like perfect.
Nice. In the chat, Spoo says that my going out to get clothes for VidCon is too American. I mean, guilty. Guilty, yes. It's true.
Spoo, where are you from?
I believe he's from Germany.
Cool. Wait, I think I know who PaulTalks is. Oh my god, I'm so bad with names and faces. I apologize, but I think I know who you are. Well, I'm under your bed, so. Because I don't have an under the bed. My bed's on the ground.
My bed is very low to the ground. I have like one of those platform beds. It's only about 1 foot off the ground.
Mm-hmm. I used to have a bed frame that my parents bought for me at a garage sale because I really wanted a canopy bed for forever. And so it was a canopy bed, but they never set up the canopy. And a couple years ago, I was just like, get rid of it because it squeaked so much. So I just don't have. I just have a mattress and like a mattress box, and like that's it.
Cool.
Very
Cool.
good.
I prefer it. I prefer it like nice and low to the ground. Matt Palka asks, "Are there puppies at VidCon?" I believe I've seen Margot, Meghan Tonjes' puppy at VidCon.
There's a puppy booth. There's a puppy booth at my first VidCon.
Cool.
Anne McGavin of Geeky Blonde and I, we bonded over the fact that we were both eating chocolate ice cream and we were at the puppy booth. Good moment.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing Rhiannon again this year. Last year, I hung out with her a little bit at the Secret Show, actually. At the Secret Show, she was there with her mom, and I just I thanked her because she was one of the people who reached out to me when I was concerned about a code of conduct at VidCon. She said that she was going to be like part of the volunteers who helped make that happen.
Good.
And she was, and it was awesome, and she was very nice. And I've watched her ever since. And now she's like flipping famous as one of the Poet Puff girls. Holy crap. They've like blown up this year.
Good for, she's great. And I love her mom. I met them in my first year at VidCon. We were in line for the education panel, and she's like, "Can I cut and sit with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Because I was there with my mom. Because my mom's like, "I'm not sending my, how old was I? 16 maybe? My 16, no, 17, I don't even know how old I was. 16-year-old across the country by themselves. I'm coming with you." I was like, okay. So we sat in line with Anne and her mom, and then me and my mom, and it was lovely. And then they had, you know where the fountain is in front of the Anaheim Convention Center?
Yeah, where the storytelling circle is and stuff. Yeah.
For VidCon 2013, they had this booth almost set up. It was like a bunch of speakers and like music, and you could just go up there and rap for whoever. I was going to go up there with my friend Jack Dodge, but he chickened out, so I went up by myself. And I just remember Anne's mom, she just got a bunch of food from the food truck, and she couldn't clap, so she was just screaming for me. It was so sweet. I was like, thank you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is so great. Spoo confirms that he is from Germany, and the Germans are all as capitalistic as you guys. So who is more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him? We're all equally foolish together.
True. I would love to go to Germany. I want to go somewhere out of the country. That sounds cool.
Where have you only been in the United States so far?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to study abroad next year in college, and hopefully in Denmark. Denmark is end game in my life. After I'm super famous and write television shows and act in television shows and make a music career, I'm going to take all of my money and buy myself a little house in Denmark and then donate the rest of it and just live in Denmark. That's my life goal.
I think that's a good life goal. Yeah, why not? Denmark's awesome. Where have you traveled? Where have you traveled in the United States besides, Vermont, Minnesota, and California?
I've been to Nevada. I went to Las Vegas last year because it's where Chloe lives, and we drove to VidCon together.
Cool.
SeaWorld in Florida. I've been to Iowa. There's nothing in Iowa.
I like how you're listing all these other states with like the reasons why you went there. And Iowa, just the hell. What the hell?
Well, I went to Iowa because I was in an acting troupe my first couple years of high school, and we went on a tour to Iowa. So we went to some schools, and we spent a night in Iowa. I've been to South Dakota from Mount Rushmore. I've been to Colorado and Arizona because I have family down there. I've been to Wyoming. Nothing in Wyoming. I've been to Wisconsin because I live on the border of Minnesota and Wisconsin, so Wisconsin's like a 10-minute drive away.
Okay.
I've been to Indiana and New York. I know last year I visited 9 states. Oh, I've been to Illinois because I've been to Chicago a couple of times.
Wow.
I've gone on a lot of road trips with my family. Oh, I've been to Tennessee. We went on a road trip to Tennessee. We've been on a road trip to Vermont, Tennessee, Colorado, and then I went on a road trip from Nevada to California. So that's my life.
That is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've also been to Connecticut. There we go. There's nothing in Connecticut either.
There's snow and maple.
Mm. There's so much maple stuff in Vermont. Like, they have maple pepper. They have maple ice cream, but they don't. Okay, so you know soft serve ice cream.
Yes.
They don't call it soft serve. They call it creamies.
That does not sound right.
No, it sounds gross, but they have like creamy stands. There's like this by Lake Champlain in Burlington, Vermont. There's this little hut that just says creamies on it, and I'm like, that's so weird. It's like ice cream soft serve, but they call it creamies, and I'm just like, what? Okay. No, I'm gonna keep calling it soft serve.
Yeah, keep calling it soft serve.
And another thing about living in Vermont for college is no one calls it pop. They all call it soda. So I'll like talk about pop casually. People be like, "What's that?" I'm like, stuff you drink. I bet you call it soda because you're out in Maryland, but like.
Yep.
People just make fun of me, and I'm like, "It's pop. Calm down. It's fine." And they're like, "You mean your dad?" And I was like, "No, not pop."
See. That's fine to me. I would understand in context if you refer to it as pop. There are parts of this country where people will refer to all kinds of carbonated soda drink as Coke. It doesn't matter. What's up with that?
That's so weird. Can I have an orange Coke? Like, Coke,
yeah.
Then again, it's kind of like saying Kleenex for everything because Kleenex is the brand. I mean,
yes, but other brands of facial tissue. I can't even name any other brands of facial tissue. But I know brands of carbonated soda beverage.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do a lot of advertising.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's weird. Scozio says, there was a TV show a few years ago in the UK where a segment was called Close to Idaho. They would blindfold the participants, put them in a field, and the one getting closest to Idaho would win. That's ridiculous. Apparently, it's a field in the UK. So that's just ridiculous.
That's funny.
Andrew in the chat says, hey, we studied the pop, soda, Coke thing in my linguistics class last quarter.
That's cool. Tell us more about it.
I am fascinated by linguistic stuff, man. Oh, jeez.
Like Duck, Duck, Grey Duck. No one knows what that is, but it is superior to Duck, Duck, Goose. I wrote a college analysis paper on it, on why it's better.
I've never heard of Duck, Duck, Grey Duck.
I'm so passionate about Duck, Duck, Grey Duck. Okay, last year, Sabrina
Is it the same? Is it identical to Duck, Duck, Goose?
It's better. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Okay. I'm going to tell you. Okay, get ready for this. So you sit in a circle. It's basically the same, but better. Okay, so you sit in a circle, and it's Duck, Duck, Grey Duck. But, like, as we were growing up, we'd be like, duck, green duck, purple duck, and you could, like, substitute things for, like, the word gray. And it's just, like, a more fun, creative way. And then my favorite thing was that you could fake someone out and go, green duck, and they'd get so excited. Sorry.
It does sound better, actually.
Mm-hmm. We played it at VidCon last year because Sabrina of Nerdy and Quirky, Jack of Jack Dodge, and Nathan of the Third Pew, they were having a meetup. And Sabrina's like, come with me, you can be part of the meetup. I was like, okay, nobody's going to know me, but I'll come. So I went with my friends Meghan of Mega Thornberry and Anthony D'Angelo, and we went, and my friend Mari was there too, and a bunch of people were there. We just played Duck, Duck, Grey Duck, and it was kind of the greatest day of my entire life.
Wow, you just listed like a bunch of my favorite YouTube peoples.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what were you going to say? Go ahead.
I was going to say, I am so sad that you are not going to be at VidCon. I'm also sad that Megan's not going to be at VidCon either.
Megan is someone I didn't know super well before VidCon, but I almost hung out with her, like, I hung out with her every single day at VidCon, but I think I hung out with her the most. She was great. She was, like, my second VidCon prom date, because I asked Jack Dodge to the VidCon prom, because he wanted a date, and I was like, okay. But then she's like, I don't have anyone to go with. I was like, come with me, and it was great.
That wasn't last year, was it?
That was last year, yeah.
Because she spent a lot. I remember seeing her and Anthony D'Angelo like dancing it up at the VidCon prom.
Mm-hmm. He came with us too.
Cool.
Her and Anthony D'Angelo, I introduced them, and she's like, because I was like, I wanted to meet everyone on the YouTubers panel, and I was going around finding them. And the last person that I had to meet was Anthony, and I couldn't find him anywhere. And I was texting him. I was like, "Where is your butt? Come meet me. Where are you?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm in the convention center." And I was like, "Okay, here I come. Don't move." And I went to go find him. She's like, "Can I come with you? Because people in the comments have told me that I'm similar to Anthony D'Angelo, and I want to meet him." And then she said that. I was like, "Oh my god. You two totally are super similar. Yes, come with me. Of course you can." And it was great.
Yeah, that was the thing that I kept on seeing her. Like, I think she like tweeted about it a couple times, and she might have a vlog about how Anthony was basically like her. He was like her. They were the same.
They're very similar, but they're both amazing. So like that makes sense.
Yeah, it's very cool. I would like to do a live show with Anthony at some point as well, but I already have scheduled a live show with Megan for the weekend after VidCon. So you're right before and she's right after. So I'm like, I have like a 3-week span of VidCon-ness, basically.
Okay.
Let's see here. Probably Sarah says that she just got in a very heated argument with a friend about saying freeway versus highway. So you understand. So you understand the pop soda problem, Sarah. It's good.
I've never even thought about that as like a thing. I just always say, I guess I take the highway. I don't know. What do you say? You say highway or freeway?
I say highway.
Okay.
I say highway.
Or like me and my friends, we always get into this one, hammock or hammock. I say hammock. Like, I'm gonna go lay in the hammock.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard that before. Yeah, I always pronounce it hammock.
Yeah. I think
That's
it's
weird.
I think it's like a coastal thing because the people that I would get into that conversation with are from the East Coast, just like you, and I'm from the Midwest. And I just get to say hammock. They also make fun of how I say Las Vegas, but that's whatever.
That sounds fine to me. That sounds normal, Las Vegas.
That's what I said. They're like, no, you say it funny. You're like, Las Vegas. And I was like, whatever. And they also make fun of how I say bagel.
Your bagel doesn't sound as sharp as my bagel.
Bagel. I don't know. Accents, man.
Accents. I actually had a friend in college who pronounced it bag-el. Bag-el.
Bagel.
Yeah, bag-el. It was weird. It's weird. Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's funny that there are still so many differences in what is essentially the same language, English, even though we are now connected to people who speak it differently. Like, yeah. I keep on expecting it to start washing out and having everybody start saying things the same way, but we're still not doing it. And we've been on the internet now for like a decade plus, a couple decades really, but like a decade for social media. So
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of social media, you don't hear it, you see it. So when you read it, you read it the way that you think it's supposed to be said.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But we find out in these hangouts.
What were you going to say? Yeah, we find out in these hangouts. Sarah says freeway. She says we're wrong about the highway.
Interesting. Maybe it's just an LA thing. I don't know if other people who really say freeway very much. Maybe it's just an LA thing, Sarah.
I think I've heard. I think my dad refers to it as the freeway. I know I've heard other people say freeway, but I say highway. Like, I'm gonna go get on the highway. Like, I go on the highway and pointing towards the highway. The highway's there.
I don't know. I don't know. Matt in the chat asks, do you think language will ever be set in stone? Maybe it just keeps developing fluidly. I don't think language will ever be set in stone, but I do feel like the more the world is connected, the more people will learn bits and pieces of each other's language. Like American English is notorious for just being like an amalgam of all sorts of junk. Just like not even trying to make it Americanized. Just like, I mean, not even trying to really pronounce it the original way. Just taking a word, Americanizing it, and then saying that's the way it is.
That's kind of like in the musical My Fair Lady, where it's like Henry Higgins and he's like the linguist and he tries to get Eliza Doolittle to speak properly. And he goes, well, in America, they haven't been speaking English for years.
Good quote. That's a good quote.
I love My Fair Lady.
It's a good. I have. My Fair Lady is one of those things where I really liked it before I embraced feminism, and now that I have embraced feminism, I look back at it and I wonder about it. I wonder about it a lot.
Well, it ends differently than they change the ending where she goes back to Henry Higgins. In Pygmalion, she doesn't, which is Charles Bernard Shaw, which is the play it's based off of.
Yeah, I'd prefer if she didn't go back to him. That'd be good.
Yeah, he's gross.
He is gross. We are also joined in the chat by Ahsante the Artist, who I mentioned at the beginning of the chat. Hi, Ahsante.
Cool.
Emily was saying that she enjoyed our singing together.
I did. I really, really did. Oh, so they say freeway in Texas and highway in Colorado. Oh, and someone says motorway, but that's in the UK. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't expect to understand anything that the people in the UK say.
Nope. Neither.
But I'm also delighted that we are joined by the Filminist. Hi, the Filminist.
Hi, the Filminist. I don't know you, but you look like you have green hair in your profile picture, so that's cool.
Yes. I'm pretty sure Filminist uses she, her pronouns, but please correct me if I'm wrong. And if that is correct, then she has responded to some of my movie reviews about things, and I think we had slightly contrasting opinions about Inside Out, but I really like watching her videos to see the feminist take that she does on films, hence her name.
Wait, I don't think I've seen your video about Inside Out. I'm super behind on all of my YouTube. What did you say about Inside Out?
Oh, I didn't. Here's the thing. I thought that it was a fine movie on the surface of stuff, and there was some really good stuff to it. It was fun. It was sweet. It had all the heart-tugging parts to it. But I found that a lot of things in the way it was constructed were based on lots of assumptions. Like, the thing I always keep on going back to is the shape and appearance of the character who plays Sadness inside the head of a little girl. That the shape of Sadness is a round, short, slumpy female-looking character in a sweater and glasses. And why? Why did the artists choose that particular appearance to be Sadness? And everything that I can come up with for why they chose that appearance is based in lots of assumptions that are kind of negative about people who are round, about people who wear glasses, about women. So I talked about that kind of stuff in my video. I wasn't saying it was a bad movie, but I just wanted to challenge the fact that everybody just accepted the appearances of the emotions without really questioning them.
I didn't think about that.
Almost nobody I've talked to has thought about it. They all just kind of accepted the emotional shapes as being okay.
I don't know, I guess it just kind of makes sense to me that Sadness would kind of be I guess the short part makes sense to me because I feel like Sadness is a little emotion. But
the thing that least bothers me is the shortness, because definitely Sadness makes me feel low, low to the ground. I feel it's like a downward emotion. I get that in a lot of ways.
Maybe that's why Sadness was bigger, because Sadness is a heavy emotion. Anger was a bigger character too, and I feel like anger is another heavy emotion to feel.
Yeah, maybe. One of my commenters said that they thought that Sadness was based on a teardrop shape, which I had not thought about, and that does give a lot of. That's a bit of an explanation that I hadn't thought of. It makes it seem a little bit more justified.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Filminist did confirm that her pronouns are she, her. Thank goodness. I'm glad for that. And welcome. Let's see. Who else is in here? Goodness.
Oh, Nick. Joy is, and Matt said Joy is shaped like a star, too.
Ah. Okay. Nick Draves joins us. I'm not familiar with Nick Draves, but hi.
Hello, Nick.
You know Nick?
No, I just said hello. Oh. Nice to meet you.
Spoo says language keeps evolving, not just words but also phrases. At the end of the day is something we didn't say in German but have adopted. That's interesting. That's interesting.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, YOLO, yes. YOLO became like worldwide, I think. I'm pretty sure everybody in the entire world knows what YOLO is now.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Matt Palka says fear kind of looks like a nerve and maybe even disgust is a piece of broccoli. Interesting. Makes sense. The phrase makes sense doesn't make sense in German. What? Are you blowing my mind right now? What?
What? That's weird.
So you have you fallen out of watching YouTube regularly?
I have a little bit, which is kind of discouraging.
Is it school?
It's school, and I've been working a lot, and yeah, I haven't had as much time to dedicate to YouTube as I would like. So hopefully I'll get back in the swing of things eventually, but yeah. Because like when I go on YouTube, typically I'll like see someone's video, and then I'll be like, oh, I haven't watched their videos in a while, so I'll watch all their videos that I missed, and then I just like stop. So
you just marathon channels at a time?
Mm-hmm. I get around to all of it eventually. Or I think I saw your Inside Out thing, but I hadn't seen Inside Out yet, so I didn't watch it. Because I didn't want to watch it and have it like persuade how I saw it.
No, I understand. I did the same thing when I haven't watched a movie yet. I tried to avoid like opinion pieces about it.
Mm-hmm.
Nick says if Swag and YOLO had a fight, it would be epic. Ha ha ha.
On YOLO side, I would be in the YOLO army.
I don't think I really have a side in that fight.
I like YOLO. I say YOLO was a catchphrase I adopted with going to college. I would just feel like someone asked me something, I'd be like, yeah, YOLO and stuff. Let's do it.
You've seen the people? There's like a comedic take on YOLO as if you only live once, then you actually should be really, really careful. You shouldn't take risks. You should just like avoid everything because this is the only chance you have.
I believe in reincarnation. We're fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, if reincarnation works out, then YOLO is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think it was a Funny or Die video that I saw about that, where they like reversed the common usage of YOLO. Filminist asks, why is Riley the only one in the movie that doesn't have emotions sharing the same gender? Have you seen Inside Out now, Emily?
Yes, I have seen Inside Out now.
Yeah, so Filminist asked that question. I find that really interesting. I want to believe that Riley is specifically a genderqueer character. Like, whether or not the artists intended that to be the message, that is a message that I want to pull from that.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, her mom had all female emotions, her dad had all male emotions, her teacher. Yeah. That's interesting. And
it's not even an age thing, because that little boy, that she runs into who's full of hormones at the end of the movie, all of his emotions look like little boys.
That's true. I didn't think about that at all. That's the first time I thought about that.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah. Wow. I didn't think about that. I mean, I'm all about the gender queerness. But, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yes. Thinking about you and last year's YoungTube panel reminds me that Holly actually just uploaded a video not too long ago, like within the last month, and it was a cool one about orientation, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish Holly were uploading more videos. I miss that face talking about stuff.
I know Holly. They just moved into an apartment with their boyfriend, and like that was super hectic on them. So I think that's why they said they were out without internet for a while. So because I asked them if they wanted to collab on something, and they said that they were without internet for a while. So like that might be a reason.
That makes sense. Well, then I hope that now that they've got internet again, now that they've got internet access, apparently, because they uploaded a video, we'll see more of Holly. That would be really cool.
That would be cool.
We are joined in the chat by my Canadian friend Bridget, aka Mouse and Sneakers. Hi, Mouse and Sneakers.
Oh.
It's just such a great username, Mouse and Sneakers. And her one of her gimmicks is that she'll end her vlogs by saying "squeak," and it's so cute, so cute.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to come on the internet? Huh? You want to come on the internet? What? You want to come on the internet? Okay. Bye. That was my little brother.
Let's see here. Sydney Bad Comedy says that Holly's videos are amazing.
Agreed.
Agreed. So who all was on last year's YouTube panel? It was you and Sabrina and Holly and
Anthony D'Angelo was the moderator.
It was moderator.
It was Aaron Williams of Africa Awesome.
Oh yeah, Africa Awesome. Yeah.
TJ Hannon of Adventures for Awesome, who was actually someone I ended up living in the same dorm with in college, and we didn't even know that was going to happen.
That's cool.
And then Alyssa of Daypod TV, who is magical in every sense of the word.
I don't remember.
She talked about farts a lot.
Yeah, I wasn't sure I was gonna like. I remember I wasn't sure about if I was gonna like the people on the YouTube panels, but as the panelists were coming on to the table, you like riffed for a little while by telling your jokes, and like as you told your jokes, I said, "I love this person. This is great. This is hilarious."
We were really confused when you guys were already all in there because we had this plan and we asked the people who were like guiding us to the our room if it would be okay. We all wanted to hide under the table, and then they'd be like,
"Oh yes, I remember that."
We did it anyways. I made you guys all close your eyes.
Oh, that's great.
It was actually a pretty diverse panel because we had like 2 people who don't like are genderqueer. We had some women. We had some people of color, and it was just like, it's good. It's like far as like panels go that are pretty much like a bunch of white British men. It was nice to have a little spice of life.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I attended 0 panels that were all white British men. The least diverse thing that I attended last year was probably the individual creators Q&As, like the Vlogbrothers Q&A. It was just the 2 of them. The Nerdist Q&A was Grace Helbig and Chris Hardwick. Those were pretty white bread. But every other panel that I attended had lots of diversity on it, and I was a big fan of. Basically, it convinced me that my choices for panels to attend was correct.
Mm-hmm. I think my first VidCon, I went to the LGBT panel, and it was all white people.
Bah.
Taylor Hart, Tyler Oakley, Davey Wavy, Meg from, I don't know her last name, if she was on SourceFed. No, it's not. And it was just basically LGBT, which is cool. Like, last year they added T with Gigi Gorgeous.
Yes, Gigi Gorgeous.
But I didn't get to see that one last year. Actually, I only went to one panel last year, and it was the panel I was on, but... Whoops.
Well, you did a lot, and you had lots of friends to hang with.
Yeah. Last year's VidCon was awesome, and I loved it.
2 people in the chat, Bridget and Sydney, are saying that they are jealous of all the VidCon talk. I understand. If you want to have us talk about something else, you can ask us questions, and we'll talk about other stuff.
Yeah. I'm just about the VidCon talk, too. I'm not going this year if that makes you guys feel any better.
I didn't even see you change your lower third. When did you do that?
When we talked about YOLO.
It's like magic. How did you do that?
Yeah, my description in my Twitter account is still the lower third I had for your anniversary live stream, which was the 2 dogs in a trench coat.
I see that. That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And still accurate.
Yeah, it's very accurate.
Sarah says she doesn't think there was a bi YouTuber at last year's LGBT panel. Yeah. If they're gonna use the acronyms, which I don't think they're using this year. But if they were going to use the acronyms, they should actually like meet the acronyms. They should actually like fulfill the acronyms on the panel.
I mean, like they have Connor Manning speaking on another panel. They could have just stuck him on there.
It's true.
He's someone who's very vocal about being bi and talking about sexuality and is very open with that. And I think he would make a good addition to that.
Yeah, I don't know if I know. Well, I know one other male YouTuber who's come out as bi, but I don't like him. So I don't know if I know very many male YouTubers.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Who are?
Shane Dawson.
I'm very anti that particular.
Yeah, he's
anyway. But I'm fine with Connor Manning being a male bi YouTuber that everybody knows about. Everybody should know about him. That's fine. That's cool.
And he's the reason that they're having the mental illness panel at VidCon, which I think is
yes,
good for him.
Applause for that.
A little bit of applause,
let's see here. Bridget says, "Don't worry, I want to live vicariously through your VidCon experience, Paul." All right, good. Matt Palka asks, "Did you check out the updated VidCon app?" I guess this is probably for me. And yes, I did check out the updated VidCon app. I have an Android phone, and it's nice. It looks cool. It's useful for figuring out your schedule at VidCon. But they removed my favorite part of last year's VidCon app.
Was it the vid contacts?
The vid contacts. Yeah, it's gone. I like that. I'm just gonna have the camera focus on you. Oh, because you have Ollie in your hand, so everybody should look at you and your dog.
This is Ollie. He's my best friend. He's really sleepy. He was asleep, but I picked him up because I thought he looked too cute, so I had to hold him. He smells really bad, and now he's gonna.
With your hair the way it is right there, your hair kind of matches his ears a little bit. You look very similar.
We get that a lot. Yeah.
Let's see here. Ashley Mardell is moderating an LGBT panel this year, and she is bi-pan. That is true. Actually, I mean, I know actually, for one reason or another, I know many women on YouTube who are women and agender people on YouTube who identify as bi or pan. I know lots of them apparently. I know like half a dozen.
Pan or queer. She talks in her videos. She talks about that she's queer a lot, which I think is cool.
Who'd you say?
Ashley Mardell.
Ashley Mardell. Well, I mean, and the thing is, I'm not a person who thinks that your identity, once you've announced it, is somehow like set in concrete and you have to be that identity forever.
Sure.
Not at all. So, and I think that when Ashley was with her boyfriend previous to Grace, I think that she identified as bi in the video at once. I think she said that she just preferred that term for herself, although she could also be pan. And I don't remember what she has said more recently than that since she's been with Grace.
I saw a video where they like talked about how she was telling Grace that she was that she had been with a man before, and she's like, "Yeah, I just told Grace I was queer because it sounded like the gayest out of all of them."
That's fine reasoning. Good reasoning if that's what happened. Let's see here. People in the chat knew who I was referring to, even when I wasn't using his name as the bi YouTuber who came out, and have said that they don't blame me for my attitudes about him.
He's gross, isn't he, Ollie? Ollie says yes.
Let's see here. There's like a stream of comments about puppies when Ollie came into the frame. Doggy, puppies, dog. Oh my God, dog. He's adorable.
Ollie's a good dog, and so is Drew. Guys, Drew's back there. And
yes, Drew is hanging out over here, watching, not understanding what's going on, but hearing the noises and looking around.
What kind of dog is Drew?
She was abandoned in a park in Baltimore and was found by some people who like basically advertised on Craigslist saying, "Hey, we found this like nice dog, but she growls and barks at everybody. Does anybody want to adopt her?" So I adopted her. She likes me,
That's
My
good.
best guess is that she's a mix of pit bull and something else, like maybe pit bull and American bulldog.
He looks very sweet.
That is my guess. She's getting older now. She's so tired now. She's always sleeping.
How old is she? Do you have any idea?
I believe she's around 12 this year.
Okay.
Yeah, she's getting up there. She's a little bit. She started eating senior dog food. Is basically what she's done now. And I'm always a little bit nervous when I travel when I don't take her with me.
Mm-hmm.
But this year for VidCon, luckily enough, one of my friends who likes Drew and who Drew likes, my friend Kelly, she is in between jobs right now, and so she actually has some time to basically just like dog sit for the whole VidCon duration. So Drew is going to be hanging out with my friend Kelly, and she will love it because she loves Kelly.
Good.
Yeah. Also, Kelly has like 3 other people in her place, and they all, I mean, they've dog sit for Drew before, and so Drew loves them all, and she'll get affection from not just one person, me, but like 3 or 4 people, and so she will just have a ball. She is a whore for attention. That dog right there.
Now everyone's like, Drew, and someone said, who the hell would abandon Drew? I will fight them. I love her.
The funny thing is, I first saw a picture of her on that Craigslist ad that the people who found her posted, and she had this like weird, like twisted position. She was like scrawny, and she had cuts and bruises and stuff on her. And but she like had this weird way of sitting where she like twists her leg a little bit, and it was because she was like malnourished and whatnot.
Oh.
But every now and then, even now, she'll like get up and she'll like sit into that position. I'll remember that she looked almost the same way as a puppy, just much much smaller. And it'll just break my heart, like, oh, I adopted you when you're looking just like that. Matt Palka references my. What's that, Emily?
But now she's in a loving home, and it's all good.
Yes, yes. If I do make the move to California, I'm going to be taking her to the other coast, and I am very curious as to how she'll react to that. In the chat, Matt Palka referenced my Drew bath video. There's a video where I give her a bath, and people were fond of that. They liked it.
It's cute. I don't blame them.
I like giving the viewers what they want, aka dogs in bathtubs.
Yes.
Let's see here. Oh, Filminist. The Filminist says, imagine years of waiting for a huge public bi representation from YouTube, and then that's what you get. Pile of poop emoji.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, Matt Palka has greyhounds, and apparently some people who are close to him are going to dog sit his greyhounds, which is cool. So if you don't mind my asking, Emily, is there like a specific thing that you're going to miss the most of not going to VidCon?
My friends, definitely. Hands down.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm. It's just like a nice thing to just be with my friends.
Let's see, Mouse and Sneakers asks, does anybody remember the viral video of the fake eHarmony profile where the woman is crying and is just like, I want to hug every cat?
That was a good one. That's me about dogs.
That's me about dogs. And apparently that's also Bridget about dogs. Matt Palka also gives the YouTube watchers what they want in the form of footage of a 9-week-old kitten. Yeah, that kitten video was pretty damn adorable.
I love animals. Any animals in any video, I'll just be like, yes. Yes.
Sarah responds to Filminist with, this is why it made me angry. Kind of angry. Yeah, we're still talking about the Shane Dawson thing.
I mean, like, good for him. Embrace yourself. But
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
In case people didn't hear because I was talking over her, Emily says, embrace yourself. Just embrace yourself somewhere else.
Gross. Was he invited to this year's VidCon?
No, thankfully. I looked at the special guest list, immediately the moment it came out to see if there's any people on there who I know of as like problematic or abusive YouTubers. Shane Dawson was fortunately not on the list. Thank goodness.
They had a pretty good list this year, like Sabrina and Nathan and Presley.
Yes, Presley. My friend Ricky Pointer is doing a closed captioning workshop.
Ricky's cool.
Ricky is cool.
I don't know her very well, but I think she's cool. Swag, 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 money.
Yes, exactly that. Matt Palka asks, Paul, how many people do you know going to the pre-VidCon tube filter party? I think like half a dozen people are going that I know of.
Much recommend. Recommend highly, much recommend.
Yeah, you've been there? You enjoyed it?
They did it last year, and like a lot of people don't know about it. So it's not a super fangirly space, and there's a lot of like, it's just like there wasn't a lot of people last year, but there was like not that big of a gap. Like there were bigger YouTubers interacting with little YouTubers, and it was fun, and there was dancing, and it was I enjoyed it a lot. I went with my friends like Chloe and Victoria Lene and Jack and Hannah and Aaron and Juice, and it was super fun.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I like Toria Lene as well.
I love Toria Lene. Oh my gosh, she's great.
She's great. I've particularly been enjoying, like, for the last like 2 months, I think she's been putting up videos fairly regularly, and they've been really on. They've been like spot on, good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let's see here. Filminist has 5 dogs and a cat, so maybe that's where her channel's true potential is. I think so.
You struck gold there.
Show us videos of your 5 dogs and a cat.
Would watch.
I would watch as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in the pre-VidCon tube filter party, not so much because I'm a party person, but just because people I like are going to be there. So it'll be like a chance for us to hang out before.
Yeah, I went last year, and it was a lot of fun, and I got into many a dance-off with strangers.
I miss the Emily Grace dance-off. You need to have more dance-offs.
I love dancing. It's
good. Fun.
There's just like this random guy just going for it. I was like, you think you can go for it? Yeah, right. Let me show you how it's done.
I'm a little bit inhibited in public, so I don't know that I got that in me. I wish I were more like you.
You know. That's how I am.
You're just dancing now to explain your love of dancing.
Yeah. I made a video about dancing once, but like that's basically what I edit out of most of my videos, is me just going, you know. I made a new video a while ago, and I still have to upload it. It is a sequel to the Cup song video.
Your cover of Cups?
Yes, my cover of Cups.
Cool.
2 came out, so I had to do something to celebrate it. Duh. No, just kidding. I watched it. I'm not a huge fan of Pitch Perfect, but I just thought it'd be funny with the times.
I like Pitch Perfect. I was going to go see Pitch Perfect 2, but then like so many reviews said that it had like significantly problematic racism in it, so I was like, meh.
Oh yeah, there was like a stereotypical like Mexican trope character, and like basically all her jokes were about like being an illegal immigrant.
Aw, come on.
And also Snoop Dogg was in it, and Snoop Dogg's kind of gross.
Bah.
He called Caitlyn Jenner a science experiment, and I was like, okay, step down.
F that noise.
Yeah, true.
No, thank you. On the other hand, I just went to see Ant-Man last night, and in it, Michael Pena makes no racist jokes, but is just hilarious. So, nice.
Was it good?
It was good. Yeah.
I really want to see it because I love Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd was not as wild and zany as he's been in the past, but his like, it was like he has like still has that charm, you know. Like remember how he was on Friends when he was on Friends, as like one of the guys I guess like Phoebe dated or something.
Yeah.
He was a lot like that in Ant-Man, except he was also like in really good shape, like really really good shape. He does a little bit of like parkour type stuff in the movie, and then there's like a scene where he takes off his shirt and he's like really nicely built.
I love Paul Rudd.
It's good. It's good. The only thing that and I might vlog about this, but the only thing that it's kind of negative about Ant-Man is that there's this movie trope, this story trope where some woman character is really good at doing things, but for whatever reason she can't perform the main plot of the movie. And so they have to bring in a male character, and she trains the male character, and miraculously the male character becomes even better than she is at whatever the thing is, and then he does the main plot of the movie. So that's like a thing that happens a lot.
That does happen a lot.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
Neither do I.
But the one positive thing is, at least in Ant-Man, Evangeline Lilly's character, Hope, keeps on saying, "You guys are doing this bullshit. I should do this instead. Stop this. This is bullshit." Essentially, I mean, she doesn't curse, but that's essentially what she's saying throughout the movie. And then there's like a nice little resolution to that part at the very, very end of the movie. So it could be worse. It's not that it's could be worse.
Ooh, I just had a big yawn.
Yeah, are we wearing you out?
Yeah, I was woken up this morning from. I have two younger brothers, and one's like room is right behind that wall, and one's room is right behind this wall, and the one here was playing guitar this morning, so that woke me up. And then I got up. I have like a million things to do because people coming over to our house, and I have to clean. Ooh.
You
Indeed. I hate cleaning. I really do.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna try to make myself clean up my apartment before I go to VidCon, so that it's not like a disgusting mess when I return home.
Yeah.
We'll see how I do.
That is like I do like that. Like when I leave somewhere and I come back and my room's just clean. I like that. But I don't like getting it clean.
Yeah. All right. So people in the chat are saying, you know, they would prefer a Black Widow movie. They're upset that the Wasp character was removed from the Ant-Man movie. I don't want to spoil Ant-Man too much, but some of the grumbles that I had about there not being a female superhero character were assuaged by some stuff that happens in Ant-Man. Like there is some cool stuff that people who are looking for a female superhero character movie will like in the Ant-Man, and that's about as much as I can say about it without spoiling like two huge things.
I mean, I don't know much about the comics in general. Like, I'm not a huge like comic reader. I think comics are cool, and I would like to get into them, but I don't know much about it. So people are like, "Oh, they're just sticking to the story," which I kind of understand, but like.
I mean, for the Ant-Man, they're really not. They're like they did a very big twist on the story. But the story for Ant-Man in the comic books, the first Ant-Man was not necessarily a good story. Like he beat his wife and stuff. It was not. It was not good. So I'm glad that they didn't stick to the comics and show us that stuff. Yeah. But some of the characters that you people are referencing in the chats over there, yeah, you will be pleasantly surprised if you see the Ant-Man. I didn't know anything about that stuff from the reviews and the trailers, but they include things in Ant-Man that you who want female superhero movies will like and will want more of.
But I'm also plus wanting, why do they keep making Spider-Man movies?
Yeah.
I was super excited when they were like, there was like the rumor, whatever, that Donald whatever Glover of Childish Gambino and Community was going to be Spider-Man. I was about him. I love him. Can't say his name, but I love him. I always forget his name, but I love him.
The one nice thing that's come out of that is that Donald Glover gets to voice the character of Miles Morales in the animated Spider-Man series that's happening right now. So that's a cool thing. But yes, it would be neat to see Donald Glover or some other black actor play Spider-Man, or like a Hispanic actor play Spider-Man, or somebody besides another tiny white person playing white boy playing Spider-Man. And I agree that it's ridiculous that we're having yet another Spider-Man reboot instead of, an awesome new female superhero character movie. Like, I would like, instead of Spider-Man, how about She-Hulk? She-Hulk fucking kicks ass. I love She-Hulk. I would watch a She-Hulk movie like tomorrow. I would buy a ticket today for it. Or Dazzler. Dazzler was like a ridiculous character made up in the 70s, like a disco rock singer superhero character who had like light superpowers. Like she could shoot beams of light out. But she's still around.
Isn't Storm a character from a cartoon?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Isn't there a female character called Storm from cartoons?
There is.
Yeah. Like
Storm is one of the X-Men. And they're going to they've cast a new teenage Storm for the next X-Men movie with the mohawk from the 80s, and she looks awesome.
That's cool.
I'm very excited about that. I mean, there are people who, with very valid concern, are criticizing the casting of Storm because in the comics she's a much darker skinned woman. Aurora Monroe is a much darker skinned, and I believe that the actress that they've cast for Storm, the teenage version, seems to be lighter skinned. I don't, but we've only seen set photos yet so far. I don't really know, and I'm certainly not the right person to be talking about this. But that's a concern, is that she was cast too light skinned. I get it. I understand. I get it. But more black people on film, please. So yeah. Let's see. Filminist says they know that. Filminist says in response to why is there another Spider-Man reboot? Because audience want to see Uncle Ben die in an endless cycle.
Oh, so sad.
Let's see here. Mouse and Sneakers asks for Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel. Well, we're getting a Captain Marvel movie. It's just been pushed back. So that it really is happening. Carol Danvers, the Princess Sparkle Fists, as she's occasionally called in the comic books, is getting her own movie. I'm excited for that. Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, the first like mainstream Indian Marvel female superhero character. Awesome character. She's gonna get her movie eventually. I'm sure of it. I mean, she has to. She has to. A female superhero that a lot of people who are not comic books readers don't know about is Squirrel Girl, who dresses up in a costume with a big squirrel tail and has the ability to tell squirrels to attack people. She is awesome.
That sounds awesome. I would watch a movie about that.
Well, they've had like a comic book series right now going on about her, the Invincible Squirrel Girl, and is really good. I highly recommend it. It's funny, and if they made a movie about that, I would watch her immediately.
That's awesome.
Matt Palka says that your lower third dancing in the streets reminds me of the movie Recess, School's Out.
That's such a good movie. I love that movie.
Me too. I liked it as well.
I watched it so much growing up. I watched it a lot at my grandma's house because she had like only a couple videos on VHS or whatever, so we watched that one a lot. And my cousin and I recently rewatched that the other week, and we were like, she's like, don't aliens like take over the world? And I was like, no, they like try to steal the moon. And I was like, wait, no, that's the plot of Despicable Me, but they actually do something with the moon.
Did you feel like it held up? The movie's still good?
Yeah, I still liked it.
Good.
There was because my cousin and I tried to watch it last summer. We tried to find it on Netflix, and we thought we found it, but it was a bunch of these like recess shorts that have like some jokes in them that you just wouldn't understand as a child. Like there was a Halloween episode, and someone dressed up as Richard Nixon and went, "I am not a crook," and like I would not have gotten that as a kid.
That's excellent. I'm glad it holds up. I was a big fan of Recess as a kid. Like a few years ago. Let's see here. Bridget asks, Any DC fans? Any thoughts on the movie trailers for Batman v Superman or the movie trailer for Suicide Squad? Have you seen either of those, Emily Grace?
I have not. I'm not like, I don't know much about comics or like anything. I know I watched Fantastic Four a lot growing up. That's about it.
Are you looking forward to the Fantastic Four movie?
Not really. I like the first one a lot. Which is weird.
The one with like Jessica Alba and Chris Pine and yeah.
They're making it now because he's Captain America or whatever, but still. But I mean, the Human Torch is now. I think wait. Let me Google this.
No, you're right. Yeah, the Human Torch is Michael B. Jordan, a black actor.
Which is because I think that's weird because I don't know why. No, I don't think that's weird. That's the wrong word to use. I'm excited about that, but I'm interested to see what they'll do because Susan Storm and the Human Torch are supposed to be brother and sister. So I'm wondering if what's going on there.
Oh, in the trailers, it looks like their father is a professor, some sort of Professor Storm, and he's a black man. And so Johnny is black, like mid-20s, I think, early 20s kid. And so my guess is that either it is a mixed marriage or that Sue Storm is adopted.
Cool. I can dig it.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it a lot. But yes, Mark Hilton, there's another Fantastic Four movie. It's a reboot. It's a reboot of Fantastic Four. I'm not entirely sure why, because they're just like rebooting it by itself. Like it doesn't seem to be meshing up with like the X-Men series. It's not meshing up with Fox's Spider-Man as far as I can tell. It's just going to be on its own. So it's kind of weird.
I think that DC redid it because Chris Evans was the original Human Torch, and now he's like the face of Captain America, which is Marvel. So that might be why.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the reason why the Human Torch character has to be different. But I'm like, why are they going to reboot the movie now and not join it up with like the X-Men movies, which are doing pretty well, or join it up with the rebooted Spider-Man series? They could have in the comic books, Spider-Man and Fantastic Four will cross over every now and then, but they don't seem to be doing it. It's just like doing it on its own. I don't know. It's like a waste of an opportunity, is my feeling about it. It could be more than it is, but it's not being done by Marvel Studios proper. It's being done by some people who own the license to Fantastic Four, who's not Marvel. So whatever. Let's see here. In the chats, people are talking about the other movies, Superman versus Batman. I'll tell you this. I don't want to talk about too much because Emily Grace hasn't watched it, but I am super bored by Batman and Superman. They are incredibly boring characters to me. I do not care in the slightest poop about them. But when Wonder Woman appears in that trailer, I scream so loud. Wonder Woman looks like she's kicking ass and giving everybody side eye and like just like taking no shit from anybody. And I am excited about Gal Gadot's taking up that role. I want to see what she can do with it. The fact that an Israeli actress has that role of Wonder Woman, so it's like she's not just an American or Western European white person. She's like actually has some ethnicity to her, which Wonder Woman would make sense to have. I am so excited for everything Wonder Woman related in that movie. The Batman and Superman stuff, I don't really care. Let's see here, and then Suicide Squad. Like I'm excited that they're giving Harley Quinn, the character from the animated Batman series, she's actually getting a live action role for the first time ever. But you know, Harley Quinn in the animated series and a little bit what she did in the comic books. Now, the reason why I like Harley Quinn is that she is smart and has mental issues that she has to deal with. She was a psychologist who worked with the Joker initially. She doesn't play up her sexuality. Like the original Harley Quinn is just wild and zany and violent as heck and unpredictable because of her mental issues and doesn't ply her sexuality anywhere. And this new version looks like she's like 99% sexuality and like 1% cool stuff.
Mm.
I mean, it's fine if there were more women in the movie, and so she was just like one type of woman, and there are like other types of women who have other feelings about sexuality, that would be fine. But as like the main female character in that movie, like her and I think Enchantress and shoot, I can't remember who Viola Davis, the name of the woman that Viola Davis is playing. I think there's like 3 women in that movie, and I'm concerned that Enchantress and Harley Quinn are both going to be like sexual characters rather than interesting characters. Like if they're interesting characters who have sexuality, that's different from just being a sexual character.
Yes, I agree.
Filmist says that maybe. Oh, I think Filmist was referring to the Storm siblings, Sue Storm and Johnny Storm, John Storm. And one of them is adopted in the film, she thinks.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that's one explanation for it. Makes sense. Sydney says that Batman v Superman sounds like a fan fiction. Yeah, kind of does. Oh, I didn't even realize that Bridget was saying this, but yes, Harley Quinn is such an interesting character. Girl is a genius and has such depth. Please don't just have Harley Quinn licking jail cell bars the whole film. Yeah, she does that in the trailer. That's disheartening. In the comic books, Harley Quinn like is a bad guy. She's a criminal, but at one point, I think there's I think like Black Canary tries to fight her, but Black Canary is experiencing some what is it? Morning. I can't remember what you call it when somebody has that's morning sickness from pregnancy. Black Canary tries to catch Harley Quinn while she's experiencing morning sickness from pregnancy, and instead of just like beating her up and running away, Harley Quinn says, "Hey, I can't help but notice that you seem sick. You want to talk about it?" Like, that's cool. I want that character to be like that developed. Anyway, I will stop talking about stuff that you don't know, you don't want to talk about, Emily.
I don't. It's whatever. The people what they want.
What sort of pop culture, like mass media culture, do you consume, Emily? Do you like books, movies, TVs? What do you got?
I watch a lot of Netflix.
Cool.
I read books. I'm currently reading this book called Attachments by Rainbow Rowell.
Oh, I follow Rainbow Rowell on Twitter, and she is so smart and funny and great in every possible way. So, like, I have all of her books on my TBR list.
I've read all of her books except for that one. So.
I think there was a deal at one point where you could buy Fangirl for 99 cents. So I bought that on Kindle.
It's really good.
Is it?
I have it over there. Mine's signed.
Cool.
She came to Minnesota for like a book tour a while back, and she's so Fangirl. It's right here, and it's a pretty good book. I really like the book. That was Fangirl, and it says, "Emily, you don't do magic. You are magic." Rainbow.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool.
Really cool. I like it.
That's awesome.
I approve of Rainbow. Yeah.
Excellent. Did she also?
My signed book I had.
Did she also write
Eleanor
and Park?
Her books are Landline, Eleanor and Park, Fangirl, and Attachments.
Cool. Awesome. Sarah says that book is hilarious.
Yeah. My favorite signed book that I have over there is like a poem book that my cousin got me for my birthday, and the author wrote, because she was talking about like the gender binary, so she wrote in there, "Emily, fuck the gender binary, but fuck yeah to all you are."
Yes. Yes. Excellent. It's weird to me because you know I try as much as I can. I try to make my feminism intersectional, and so it's weird for me when people who are self-labeled feminists will say things that are definitely like gender essentialist or like binary conforming. It's so weird that that's still
a thing.
Yeah.
Right, Allie? Yeah.
Dogs don't care.
I tucked him in.
Where even is he? Oh, there he is.
I tucked him in.
Adorable. Speaking of books, Matt Palka asks if anyone is bringing books for Christina Horner's book swap on Friday. I am not. I probably should, but like, I don't know.
I'd have to be going to VidCon to do that.
It's cool that she's doing it. It's cool that Christina Horner is organizing a huge VidCon book swap thing. That is awesome. As I mentioned actually to Emily before the video started, I've been I hung out recently with Magic Cat Jenny, who used to be in California, the LA area, and is I think friends with Christina Horner. And she was sad that she's gonna be missing it. She wishes that she was there at the book swap.
There was some sort of book swap last year too, because I remember I was gonna say Karen Gillan, but Karen Cavett talked about it on her channel. That you like bring a book and you get a ticket and you go back and you pick out another book. That's
cool. It's cool. Yeah. Karen Cavett is another person I like on YouTube. I don't tend to watch all of her videos because I'm not a big DIYer, but I really like her design style.
I really like watching DIY videos and style videos because it's like something I don't do, but I just find super fascinating.
I mean, I'll watch the occasional like makeup video or like favorites video, just because the people who put up the videos are people that I like. So you know, the fact that they talk about makeup doesn't dissuade me from watching their videos.
Where are you going? Oh, you going up there? Where are you going? Oh, hi.
Oh. Doggy bomb. It's like a photo bomb, but with dog.
Ollie, where are you going? Ollie, sit down. Sit down. Where are you going?
Dog butt.
Dog butt. Ollie, lay down. Okay. He's fine.
Good. Was there anything that you experienced at last year's VidCon or any VidCon? Was there anything that you experienced where you're like, I wish this did not happen here at VidCon? I mean, you're a very positive person, so I'm not sure if you think that about stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like anything like to do with the convention, really. I mean, people screaming and following each other. I don't like that. I don't like hearing about like the boys who went around picking up girls without their permission and stuff like that. Oh
yeah, that was awful. I actually did not see that, but I heard about it after the fact.
Mm-hmm. They were banned from VidCon, which I think is
good. If people in the chat don't know what we're talking about, at last year's VidCon, there were some people. Were they Viners? I don't even know, but
they were YouTubers.
They were YouTubers. Okay, so there were these YouTubers who were going around and like their version of a safe prank was to pick up people, like lift them up off the ground without their permission first. And that is like, I mean, that would upset me, and I don't have issues about physical contact and physical boundaries. I don't have those issues, and I would still flip out if somebody did that to me.
Oh yeah, I would not like that at all.
I would like punch somebody in the face.
This is gonna be really quick, and I'm really sorry, but someone's here, and I have to go at my house.
Okay.
I'm really sorry about this, but this was really, really fun, and I'm really glad we got to do this.
That's okay. It's almost 5 o'clock anyway, so it's almost 2 hours.
All right. Thank you for having me, everyone. Thank you for
joining me. I'm gonna miss you at VidCon.
I'm gonna miss you too, but have fun. You're gonna have fun. Best of luck with everything. Paul, you're great. Everyone, if you're not subscribed to Paul, I think all of you are, but you should be.
Thank you for joining us, Emily.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So I will, since that was a little bit abrupt, let me wrap up this live stream a little softer here. Let me see if there's anything in the chats that we've missed. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, so people were just commenting about how being picked up without consent is bad. Bridget says someone would get a very hard elbow to the face. Mark Hilton says, thank God they were banned. Matt Palka says that's extremely unsettling. Yeah. Yeah, so another thing that Emily mentioned in passing was the screaming and running after people. A couple of things that I did witness personally at VidCon last year that I hope does not happen this year is someone screaming because they see a YouTuber that they know, a celebrity, and then like running up the down escalators trying to catch up to that YouTuber. I saw that happen, and it was ridiculous. I hope that does not happen this year. I also saw, like, if you're not familiar with the way the physical grounds or the convention center for VidCon are, there's this like a road that goes down in toward the convention center and then comes around and then comes back out. And on one side of the road is one hotel, and the outside of the road is another hotel. The convention center's at the far end where the road turns around. And last year I saw, and it's like a narrow road, so it's like one way. Last year I saw some people, I think they were mostly, I mostly heard the screams of teen girls chasing after some people who were in a car, and they actually ran into the street chasing after the car. I hope that does not happen this year, because that was, again, ridiculous and unsafe. I hope that does not happen. We'll see what happens. There's been some talk I've seen on Twitter about how the security for VidCon this year should better understand what is going on. Last year, I think the security tried to do the best they could, but had no idea like who VidCon panelists were, VidCon panel attendees were, versus just fans who wanted signings and photographs. So the security team tended to treat everybody as if they were just screaming fans, even when some of us were not. Like, we were just like in line for panels. We were pushed away from attending something at VidCon by security because they didn't understand the differences between the types of attendees. Hopefully this year they will better understand us attendees. We'll see what happens. So I just wanted to like elaborate a little bit on that because Emily mentioned it and then had to go. In the chats, people are horrified by these stories of mine. Yes, they are horrifying. They're bad. So I'm going to wrap up. I realize that it's a little bit under 2 hours this time around, but I don't like to do these live shows all by myself because it's not really about me. It's usually about my friends. I want to have my friends given a little spotlight. But thank you, everybody who joined in, asked us questions. I really appreciate it. If I'm going to see any of you at VidCon, I am looking forward to it. If I am not going to be seeing some of you at VidCon, then I will miss you being there. I know that I would love for Bridget to be there, and I'm sad that she won't be. If I could go up to Canada, I'd go up and visit you, but I just can't, unfortunately. Oh, well. And I will be seeing Sarah in just a minute at VidCon. I'll see you soon. And I think that is it. Yeah. So if you've made it to this point in the live stream or the podcast, if you're listening to the podcast, thank you for making it all the way to this point. This is the part of the video where I show off my t-shirt, which says outsmart the patriarchy. I bought this from Bitch Media. I'm a big fan of theirs. And this is also the part where I say that tomorrow will be even better. And thanks for watching.